time for the Loco Sports Lowdown. Here are your hosts, Justin Jarrett, Wes Kerr, and Max Arraj.
Psych. Wes is taking the night off. Max Arraj and Justin Jarrett with you on a Friday night edition of the Loco Sports Lowdown. And we are high school football season is, in fact, upon us, Max. It has snuck up on us again because our guest who is waiting in the green room is just a foolish man who never learns his lessons. He's my friend. I'm joking. Nic Shuford from Beaufort Academy will join us tonight, and he keeps scheduling these week -1 games, and every year I'm like, "Are you really doing this again, dude?" And he's like, "Yes, I don't know what I'm doing." But he's chomping at the bit, so he and the Eagles will get after it tomorrow night against Northwood Academy. So, that'll mostly be the focus tonight. We'll be just kind of getting ready for high school football season because, once again, it is upon us. I really didn't think this game would get played this weekend after the way this week started, but here we are. So BA going to start it against Northwood Academy. We'll talk with Coach Shuford more about that in just a little bit. Of course, lots of Olympics going on. I've been watching a lot of Little League World Series regionals. I can't get enough of the 12U baseball. But how you been, buddy?
I've been good. Keeping an eye on the Olympics, especially breakdancing for some reason, because why not? And that
one does not need to be in the Olympics.
Yeah, keeping an eye on the baseball. I did. We talked last night about how the Braves and the Reds were going to be playing at Bristol Motor Speedway. I found
I did too. Yeah,
for it, and oh my god, it looks so cool. So I'm excited for that. But
there's like no good seat.
I'm looking forward to football season starting. Man, starts
tomorrow night. Truly tomorrow night.
It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited for it. I couldn't be more excited for it because there's a lot of this will be my first football season with LowcoSports, so I'm excited. Get out and check out all the other LowcoSports teams that have their own traditions and stuff I have may have never seen before, and like Hampton County. Beaufort Academy, I've seen a couple of times Beaufort Academy and their traditions, and very special to watch. And then, Beaufort High School, Battery Creek, all these teams that I've never gotten to see play before and never seen what it's like to go to a home game at some of those schools. It's going to be a real fun experience, and I'm extremely excited for the upcoming season.
Man, that's wild. I hadn't even thought about the fact, like, obviously I knew this was your first football season working with this, but I hadn't even thought about the fact that, like, you hadn't even been to a game at some of those places, like at Beaufort High.
Yeah, because I was always at, Hilton Head Christian, I was always at Hilton Head Christian, whether I was, in the pep band or, helping out the football team whenever I can. But it was either that or I was at a cross country meet on Friday for like state meet or something like that. But, I've never gotten the experience. I've gone to, a couple of Hilton Head High School games and one Bluffton High School game, and that's it. So, I've never gotten to really experience what Loco high school football is all about.
No, you have not. Wait till you go to Hampton County or you go to, Beaufort High. There's some great environments out there. But well, hey, let's not keep our guests waiting too much longer. We'll shout out our MVP sponsors, and then we'll get to him. It starts with my wife, Megan Jarrett, the official realtor of LowcoSports. She's with Keller Williams of the Low Country. She'd love to find you a place in the Lowco or help you upgrade to a bigger, better place. If you want to get into the real estate market here in the Low Country, do it with the official realtor of LowcoSports, my wife, Megan Jarrett of Keller Williams of the Low Country. Homegrown Home Inspections is our official home inspector, providing great home inspections. They'll check out that home from top to bottom and make sure it's good to go. And if you're building a new home, you got to have that phased inspection where Homegrown will check on it every step of the way and make sure it's built right. Hospice Care of the Low Country provides hospice care, palliative care, and free grief counseling, plus much more. Great organization here in our community, official hospice provider of LowcoSports. Hospice Care of the Low Country, where it's not about dying, it's about living. And Mickelson Law Firm, our official real estate closing attorney, presenting sponsor of our Hilton Head Christian Academy coverage and our official real estate closing attorney of LowcoSports. Mickelson Law Firm supported us since the beginning, so we appreciate them and hope you'll call on them for all your legal needs. And our MVP sponsors present our guest tonight, the aforementioned friend of mine who I was poking fun at about his decision making, Mr. Nic Shuford. What's up, buddy?
How much?
I hope you took my my comments in the manner in which they were intended, which was just good fun.
I did. I'm glutton for punch. I know it.
No, you keep doing this to yourself. You are a glutton for punishment, as you said. You go out there and play a game that counts. Like, I don't know how many days into practice, but why do you keep doing it? What is the attraction? Do you feel like it's just a great way to kind of stress test your team early and see what you got, or do you just keep getting over eager, or can you just not say no? What is it?
Combination of all of them. You know, I like giving us a really tough test as early on as possible. I mean, we're going up against 4A Northwood tomorrow. I mean, it doesn't get much more difficult than that. Just kind of let us know where we stand, and like you said, I get eager. I don't want to wait till week 0 or week 1, depending on how the schedule rolls out. And I just selfishly, I kind of like being the first game in the state too. So
all eyes on you, that's for sure. And you've done this a number of times, going back to when you were at Thomas Hayward, and then now at Beaufort Academy the last couple of years. So you've kind of got a reputation for it now, I guess, for playing early. But, you know, last year it worked out well for you. You guys went out and played really well early in the season, and then just kind of got derailed by injuries. But you also had a lot of guys graduating, and so it kind of gave you an opportunity to start to look at some of those guys who are going to have to step into roles. So, you know, where are you right now? I mean, you have the numbers, I think, on like the percentage of total yardage that you graduated or something, and it's absolutely
we're right at 1,000 yards that we graduated off of offense last year. So we got to have some guys step up for sure.
Yeah, that's crazy. So where are you guys right now? You feel like?
I'll be honest, we're still filling it out. Like you said, we're playing a game very early, so you know, roles are still being you know, defined, and we've got a lot of guys that are going to get reps tomorrow night, and you know, it's basically an audition for the rest of the season moving forward.
Get in there, Maxie.
Yeah, you know, I guess not a lot of practice time for you guys leading up to this game, you know, with all the weather and stuff like that, flooding, and it can be a real pain in the butt, you know. And so I you know, I want to know how ready is your team, you know, with the lack of practices and stuff. How ready is your team going into this game tomorrow night?
Ready as you'll ever be.
Check with me about 10 o'clock tomorrow night. I'll let you know. We're as ready as we can be. This week has been crazy. We've had to get a little creative with practices and gym and stuff like that. But, you know, Northwood's been fighting the same thing. So we can't use lack of practices as an excuse. So I feel good about it. I mean, our guys are excited. They're ready to get to showcase what they've got. And, you know, we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, you got an 8 o'clock kickoff tomorrow night at Charleston Southern, right? Against Northwood, which Northwood was kind of a doormat for a few years. And then last year, coaching change. Basically, you watched like First Baptist and Northwood just trade places. It was like the old movie Trading Places. Like they just overnight they swapped spots. And then you were telling me that Northwood has attracted some more talent to their school this year.
Yeah, that's what I hear. Johnny Waters does a great job. Obviously, his record speaks for itself at First Baptist, and then in year 1 at Northwood last year, he had a great year. And yeah, he has a way of attracting talent to him. You know, and he does a really good job of coaching it up.
No doubt about it. Shoot, sorry, clicked on the wrong window there. They are definitely going to test you guys. You are very young at a lot of positions, but you do have a senior quarterback, and one you know very well, one who lives under your roof, which is always helpful to be able to be on the same page and all those things with Dietrich. Tell me just about the leader that he's developed into and what you're expecting from him this year.
I'm expecting a big year out of him. You know, coming off that the knee injury from basketball season. He's come back and he seems to be a lot quicker and a lot faster coming off of that somehow. So I'm happy about his physical abilities right now, and mentally he seems to be in a really good place. He's locked in. Obviously, he's got a grasp of the offense. He's been running it for about 4 years. So I'm excited, looking forward to it. He's never really been the get in your face, rah leader. He's more of a lead by example kind of guy, and different types of leaders. So we'll take.
No doubt. Yeah, he's definitely a lead by example guy. He also is my hero because he saved me from the ice bath at a state championship game many years ago when he was injured. So that was pretty clutch. So tell us about some of the big holes to fill, especially are in that backfield around him. Devontae Green was terrific. Jackson Porter was, one of the best all around contributors in the area. I mean, just a terrific all-around football player who did a lot of things for you. Those are the two huge ones. Zeke Gonzalez, Alex Williams, a huge hole to fill on both sides of the line. So who are some of the younger guys that we're going to learn those names this year? They're going to become household names. I know Jace Paulk's waiting to make his own name now that his older brother's out of the way, Jackson Porter. But who else is coming in behind him?
Yeah, I mean, receiving core, I'm looking for big things out of Jace. Devin Fritz had a really good year for us last year at receiver. We're looking for even more out of him this year. In the backfield, obviously, we've got Nick Underwood and Aaron Steelums. And after those two, a junior, sophomore, then we get a little younger. We've got KJ Freeman and my other son, Nic Shuford, who are going to have to step up and get reps back there too. So
little Steve's on the roster now.
But like I said, I mean, there's a number of guys that are going to have to step up and make big plays for us on the offensive side.
Absolutely. Well, Max is having some trouble with the Wi-Fi. You got one, Max?
I'm still trying to get up your schedule. My Wi-Fi's decided it doesn't want to work well with me tonight. But, you guys have had really strong teams over the last few years, and I've gotten to witness that and just see how much you guys have progressed over the years to become, a team, that everyone can be very much so afraid of. And, looking into this year, I think you guys have a very, very well experienced team. So, just give me your outlook on what the upcoming season looks like for you guys.
It's going to be a tough one. I can tell you that. There's not a game schedule that you look at and say, oh, there's a win. We're going to have to earn them every single Friday night. In my opinion, 1A is arguably tougher than 2A this coming year with, teams like Hayward and Colleton Prep, Patrick Henry, teams like that, St. John's. And I mean, there's a ton of tough games on the schedule. So we definitely got to work it out for us. We've got to bring it every week.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think 1A, I was just looking at that the other day and going, geez, like your region in particular is really deep. I mean, Hayward looks like nobody wants. I mean, on paper, they look like you don't want to fool with them. They got pretty much everybody back from last year, so that's kind of scary because they were playing good ball last year. Patrick Henry, don't discount them. I was kind of thinking like, well, they lost a lot, but then you start looking at the names they bring back and you go, well, shoot, they still got some juice over there. Colleton Prep, I will never sleep on those boys. Those boys are
that's the scrappy.
Just tough as nails, well coached. I mean, they're a problem. So I think your region, and then you got Andrew Jackson in there too, right? Long time 8-man power, still kind of finding their footing in 11-man, but you got to figure they're going to start to be a problem at some point too. So
the athletes over there, they're going to be competitive too.
Yeah, no doubt. It's going to be fun. I can't wait. And you get Hilton Head Prep early. After Northwood, you get Prep at home. That's an interesting team this year because I like Doug McFadden. I always want to call him Underwood for some reason. Doug McFadden, I like him a lot. I think I know a guy named Doug Underwood. That's got to be where that comes from. But Doug McFadden is great. And did you notice how much bigger their boys looked at Media Day?
They were in their jerseys, yes.
Yes, there was a noticeable change in those young men over the past year.
They've been in the weight room this summer, that's for sure.
Yeah, you could tell they had. So I'm excited to see what that team looks like. But just kind of getting your thoughts on Thomas Hayward, place that you graduated from and coached at a long time, and now your buddy Taylor Malfris taking over there. He was on your staff for a long time. What do you think about them this year? They look pretty interesting to me.
I mean, on paper, they're extremely strong team.
Yeah.
With O'Banner in the backfield, that's a nice bonus to have. But they've got a lot of pieces over there that Taylor's going to do a phenomenal job with. He's a great coach, always has been, and he's got a lot of that old staff back with him. We had when I was there, so I'm expecting Taylor to do great things there.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one when you guys take on Thomas Hayward, which I believe is that's the finale. You'll have them at home on November 1st. That one should be a good time. Good time on the Isle of Ladies.
Like that one. Oh, I'm going to be going to that game. That's a game to watch, man.
You say that, but then you'll look at the schedule that week and go, my goodness, there's like 8 Donnybrooks. It'll be.
Yeah, I know.
It'll be unbelievable.
Yeah.
I can't go to all of them as hard as we try.
Well, I will be out for a couple games for Beaufort Academy this year because I really like the way y'all's team is looking for the upcoming season. So, you guys are one of the teams that I definitely want to keep an eye on, especially in what is a really competitive division for you guys. So I'm excited for y'all's upcoming season. I think y'all are going to fight really hard in tomorrow's game and show everyone that you're here and you're ready to go and you're ready to aim for a potential state title.
Yeah, they'll be ready to play. I guarantee you that. Shuford's teams are always ready to play. But it has been an unusual run-up to the season, to say the least.
Yeah.
Luckily, we get a little more time in the summer now than we used to. So you're a little more prepared than you would have been back in the days where you would have had like 2 days of practice and now you're playing ball. You've had your guys for a little bit, so that's good. But what was I going to ask you about? I was thinking about something and I lost it. Underwood, coming over from Battery Creek, Nick Underwood, a kid that has just so much personality and charisma. He's been on my radar for a while just because he always says hi and, make sure you see him and stuff. What's he added for you guys? He seems like a really positive energy guy.
He is. I mean, obviously, we all know he's a great football player, soccer player. He's just a great athlete. But more than that, getting to know him over the last few weeks, he's a great kid. He brings a lot of energy to practice every day. Kind of keeps the mood light, when I'm losing my mind. He keeps the team light and energized and going. So, a great addition to our program.
Oh, man. You got anything else, Max?
Yeah, I can't think of anything right now. I'm sure I'm going to think of it later.
Yeah, no worries. Shu, who else you like in the area? Obviously, you're a football guy. You're all geeked up for this. Everybody's looking at Region 6 4A, which it is now because it's got our whole area in it. You think Beaufort's still the top dog there? Or you think anybody makes a run at them?
I've got a hard time betting against Bryce Libron, man. He does a job getting those guys ready to play ball.
He's pretty incredible, and not just him. That coaching staff, he's kept a bunch of guys there for a long time, which is it says a lot because when you're having the success that they're having, there are opportunities out there for guys to make moves and they stick around. Yep. So that says a lot about the way he does things and what they got going on there. I agree. I think they're gonna be tough to beat, but I do think Bluffton's gonna be really fun to watch, especially on offense. Yeah. They're a blast on offense. I think May River, just the way those guys carried themselves media day, you could tell they're kind of bringing a knife to a gunfight. But this year they walked in there with that swagger again. So I think they're going to be tough. And I never sleep on BJ. I know they haven't made the playoffs the last couple of years, but he gets a lot out of what he's got. And I like that young quarterback. I think he's going to be special down the road. So, and I think he understands what he needs to do now and won't try to do too much. So, that'd be fun. Colleton too, sleeping giant, man. Ken Luck's got him going the right direction.
Yeah.
phenomenal job with.
Yeah, he really has. So, and then also on the Skeeza side, Hilton Christian Academy will be interesting to watch because, I mean, it's like a whole new crew almost. But Peduzzi was licking his chops in media day. He can't wait to coach him up.
Yeah, I'm telling you, we scrimmaged Christian last Saturday, and like you said, a lot of different dudes. But I mean, it's a Ron Peduzzi football team. They're scrappy. They're going to get after it, and I mean, I expect more of the same from Christian for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
like Mullis said the other day, take the over on the win total, whatever it is.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Knowing Ron Peduzzi, yeah, you got to take the over every time.
He was like a pig, and you know what? At media day, he was grinning. I said, "You relish these rebuilding years, don't you?" You know, I kind of do. Last year, I got a little bit spoiled. I didn't get to coach much. I get to coach this year.
He's gonna have some fun this year.
Yeah, he's gonna get after him. Well, Nick, thanks so much, man, and we'll definitely keep tabs on you tomorrow night. I don't know that anybody's going to be able to make the trip, but we'll keep tabs on you, and we'll look forward to hearing from you and seeing how it goes. And we can't wait for another season of Lowco high school football. You and I've been doing this thing for a long time.
Been a while. I appreciate everything you do.
Yeah, man, appreciate you. Take care, and best luck tomorrow night. Rep the Lowco.
See ya.
See you, buddy. That's Nic Shuford, Beaufort Academy football coach, longtime Thomas Hayward coach. Good dude. I've said it before, but I've watched Nick.
Yeah.
I've watched Nick grow up as a coach and as a dad and as a man, and like we kind of grown up together because I was like a cub reporter, and he was a young coach when we first met each other, and it's been cool to watch him grow into the coach he's become and the leader he's become, and then to get to know Dietrich, who's just tremendous young man, great leader, and look forward to seeing him ball out his senior year. He's a good kid, but they got a bunch of them over there. It's gonna be a fun team to watch.
Yeah, it's a great guy. It's a great guy to have for Beaufort Academy. I think before he showed up and became the head coach for Beaufort Academy, I think not many people really looked closely at what Beaufort Academy was and what they could be as a football team. And,
Clifford put him on the map.
Yeah.
But
I think Shuford has taken them to the next step.
No doubt. And I think Clifford recognized, you got to give Clifford a lot of credit because he's still involved there. And he recognized that, like, look, I still love it, but I just don't have enough to give anymore to be able to, give what I need to. And they saw an opportunity to go get Nick and keep Mark on as like an advisor. And it's been awesome. It's really a good thing for BA.
Yeah.
And I think will continue to be. But yeah, Clifford came over. I mean, they were languishing, 8-man football, not very competitive for years and years. And then Clifford came over from Beaufort High. First year, he wins a state title in 8-man. And then the next year they went to 11-man and were pretty competitive for a couple of years. And then Shuford comes in. And I think that really did it was the natural next step to kind of continue the growth. So they got a good thing going over there.
I think give them a couple seasons. I think a couple seasons from now, they're going to have a team, I think, worthy of being a state title contender. Because I really do like how they're building that program. And I really think it's not long from now when they get to the top of it.
Yeah, I don't know what the quarterback situation looks like for the future. Like Dietrich is obviously the guy this year. And then after that, I don't know what the plan is, but that doesn't mean they don't have one. I just don't know what the plan is. So I don't know how it projects out beyond him. But, this year, I think they're competitive in that region. I don't know that they win.
It's a very tough region.
I think Hayward's the team to beat. I think barring something unforeseen, Hayward's the team to beat in that region. But don't sleep on it. Well-coached team. They've got some good pieces. They got the veteran quarterback. So they'll be right there. I think tomorrow night they might have some tough sledding because Northwood's a tough team to break in a bunch of new starters on defense against. But But we'll see. They'll be up for the challenge.
Yeah, that's a tough team. Yeah. Yeah.
But
I
hey,
mean, Northwood's really turning it around,
Northwood's
man.
tough. They're pretty tough. The varsity sponsors the LowcoSports. DDS Web Design builds, hosts, and maintains websites for businesses and nonprofits to get results. So if you need to get found online so you can do more and think bigger, go to ddshhi.com. Parker Law Group serves legal needs across Colleton, Hampton, and Jasper counties, and they are helping us continue to expand our coverage in those counties and shine a light on more deserving teams and student athletes around the Lowco. Dr. Ambrose Cole is our official chiropractor of LowcoSports. You can find him at Rooted Living Wellness in Bluffton, and he'll get you feeling right, mind, body, and spirit. And Reverence Wrestling Club, our official wrestling sponsor, presenting sponsor of the Lowco Grind. Take your skills on the mat to the next level at Reverence Wrestling Club. Those are our varsity sponsors. Here's something football related that I didn't mention the other night. I had it on my notes, and we didn't get to it because we talked baseball with Mullis the whole time until we started talking about Olympic sports that didn't need to be. But Zaire Polite from Whale Branch committing to Erskine for football. So yet another Whale Branch Warrior going to go play college football. There's a bunch of those dudes out there doing the thing. And I do have the stats on let me see here. Polite had a pretty good year last year. He had 35 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, couple fumble recoveries, and a defensive touchdown. So, but not huge raw numbers. So I think that's got to be a product of camps this summer. I know a bunch of those guys went to a bunch of camps, and a couple. Erskine offered Polite and Alonzo Allen. I think there could be more offers. There should be more offers coming for Alonzo. So I think he's probably just kind of biding his time to see what else comes. But Polite jumping on it, and they've had a bunch of dudes go to Erskine and have success.
Yeah, a lot of players from the Low Country have ended up going to Erskine. It's something I feel like Erskine really likes recruiting here in the Low Country because they always find talent throughout the Low Country, and it's not just Whale Branch either. It's any school here in the Southern Low Country. Beaufort, Jasper, and Hampton counties. You always see someone ending up, signing on with Erskine, no matter what sport it is, whether it's football, baseball, or even soccer. So, congratulations to him. And they got a game a couple weeks out from now that I think is going to be a really good one against Bluffton High School. I think that's going to be a real solid matchup between those two schools.
I think it's going to be a fun. I agree.
Yeah. I was watching WSAV the other night, and they had a segment on Bluffton High School, and their wide receiver Nate Ulmer was talking in an interview, and he mentioned how he said his team is the most complete that he's seen in the 3 to 4 years that he's been at Bluffton High School. So I feel like that's a really good sign for Bluffton because I know they had a really good. A solid team last year. I think that team's going to be a little bit more experienced this year and can, really scare some people, even Beaufort High School. I think, they can give a scare to Beaufort High School. I think Beaufort's going to win the region, but, don't count Bluffton out because I really think they're that next team in that region.
Yeah, I kind of think so, too. I think the offense we know plays. Bays was good, but McCarthy I think is his equal and will be better if he's not right away. And that's not a knock on Bays. I just think McCarthy's really good. And Bays was great in their system. But McCarthy is really good. And Warren is obviously a major D1 talent. And then Ulmer is just kind of sleeping on the other side of the field, and he's sneaky good. They've got a bunch of guys they can spread it out to. Now, who's going to run the ball is kind of a question that I'm eager to see. They don't run it a ton, so they don't, it's not super important, but they need to be able to a little bit. So I have some questions. The biggest question is on defense because Jeremiah Curry is like a generational guy. And I talked with Gregory about that, and you can see that on our YouTube page. A little longer interview with those guys with him and Ulmer. But Gregory was like, look, we know we don't have a guy who replaces Jeremiah Curry. So, but but they feel like, and I brought this up, and he was like, absolutely. Sometimes when you have a guy like that, like the rest of the defense gets caught watching him a little bit because they're like, oh, it's to my side, but Jeremiah's got it. And they kind of get caught watching a little bit. And so I think they have a chance to be better overall on defense as a team in the long run. Maybe not early on, but as guys figure out like, oh, I have to go make that play now. They got a chance to be pretty good. So Gregory's excited about it, and everybody is this time of year, obviously, but he seems to be a guy who doesn't blow a lot of smoke. Like he'll be pretty straight about what they got, and he feels pretty good about it. May River I haven't seen him this excited in a couple of years, so that just measuring that energy, I feel like they're all pulled in the right direction, and they're going to be dangerous. I haven't talked to Kinlock much. I'm interested to know how it's going in Colleton, and obviously they got hit harder by the floods than we did down here. So I hope I haven't messed them up too bad. But I'm eager to see what they've got. And then Bishop England is kind of the X factor in the region because they're just out of sight, out of mind, and they can bring kids from out of district, because private school situation. So, but they were not very good last year. So Hampton made pretty quick work of them in the 2A playoffs. Yeah. So I don't think they'll be a huge factor, but I don't know that. So yeah, that'll be a fun one. And then I think Hilton and Christian JP2 is an interesting matchup. Both those teams they're kind of hitting the reset button a little bit because Tilton obviously graduating from JP2 and Hilton Christian just like graduated like almost like they have like two starters back on each side of the ball or something. And one of them is McCollum, a linebacker, but I don't know how much defense he's going to play because he's going to be the quarterback. So, there's a lot. Our boy, Coach Hulk Bridges Prep Football, still undefeated. Also still winless.
Man.
Yeah, years ago there used to be Hilton Head University football T-shirts that said undefeated. But that was a long time ago. It was tennis people who
it was.
And it was bizarre. But so I'm excited for high school football. Obviously, that's what we do. Like that's our biggest and best thing. I was just telling a friend tonight about what we're planning for our little red zone type deal. And I already started talking to our friends at Hurricane Sports Cafe out in Hampton. They are ready to host the Lowco Pigskin Live post-game recap show one night. So if we're ever out at the game and we want to pop in there and go live from Hurricanes for the post-game show,
hey man,
I'm sure they'll hook us up with some good food like they always do, and nice Diet Coke on tap and Diet Pepsi. I think they got Pepsi products there, and it'll be a good old time. So it'll be fun. I can't wait to have you in the mix for high school football. It's gonna be fun. You and our friend Tim Alonzo jump in the mix too. So.
Yes, sir.
Looking at this Erskine roster, by the way, they do have a bunch of Lowco guys last year. I don't know that everybody's back, but they had a bunch. They had guys from Colleton Prep and Beaufort High and Thomas Hayward. They got Jarius Gordon from Thomas Hayward. I saw Walker Nettles from Colleton Prep.
They love recruiting here.
Yeah, they're coming down and snatching some guys.
Just love recruiting here.
Well, and they know about Whale Branch because they had a couple guys go there. Darius Hazel went there and ended up being their all-time leading rusher when he left. So they know Whale Branch has dogs.
Oh yeah,
they know that's what's up. But you mentioned the Braves Reds game at Bristol, which we talked about with Mullis the other night. Yeah. You've got the shot here. That's what we're looking at. So
which is
it looks phenomenal. Cool. It looks beautiful.
It looks amazing.
But if you're being pragmatic about it, there's not very many good seats. Like the seats on the infield are great, And then like the next best seats are like the worst seats at an actual baseball stadium.
Well, think about this. Remember when they had the Tennessee football game at Bristol?
Yeah.
It was kind of like that because all the seats were far away from the field.
Right.
So it was not a great seat either. It's kind of the same
Not a great
situation.
spectator experience.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's going to be 150,000 people at that game, which would be the most for any Major League Baseball game in the history of Major League Baseball. So
how much do you think tickets will go for?
I don't want to know. I really don't want to know because
I don't know that they'll be that high because I just really wonder what the demand will be for some of those really high up seats.
Well, I will say this: I think
So
one of the
fun,
reasons it may sell. I think one of the reasons it may sell is because the Braves, hopefully, if they don't, injure themselves or shoot themselves in the foot with an injury every week, and you got a really young but talented Reds team. Those two teams playing at Bristol, I think, is the best combination because you have a very young team, but a very talented team in Cincinnati, and then you have the Atlanta Braves, who are still on the young side and very talented as well, and they have a bit more experience in the playoffs, obviously. But I think those are two really talented teams, and I think that's a really great matchup for that. So I think people will go to the game, not just because it's a spectatorship, but it's also a great series between two of the of the rising teams through Major League Baseball. So I think it's going to sell, but I agree with you. I think it will be more of like a spectator thing because it's just something we have never seen before in the history of Major League Baseball. We have never seen a baseball game take place at a NASCAR track. So it's
I
very,
think it'll be a lot of
intriguing.
people who go for the experience, like just to say they were there.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, say they were there. I
am curious to see what the ticket prices do, like what they come out at, and whether there's a market, like whether the market's there to meet it, because it's not going to be great seats. Like it's just not.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, I assume. Well, I won't say this because I think the Tennessee football game is a bit different. A, it's in Tennessee, and B, is a team.
Well, they already put 100,000 in that stadium. Like it's nothing to draw 100,000.
You had another 50,000 to that. Yeah,
but you're talking like 40,000 big baseball crowd. So like it's an ambitious thing to fill that.
Yeah,
thing. So
I think there's only been one other time in Major League Baseball history where we have had a game where it was more than 100,000 people, and I think that was I'm trying to remember, what did I see? I think it was back in 2008 between the Red Sox and the Dodgers, and they played at Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, which was home to the Olympics, and which will be home to the 2028 Olympics as well. And they played there once and had a crowd of like 115,000. So I mean, we're talking even more people than that for a baseball game, and that's just that's uncharted waters for Major League Baseball, something we've never seen before. So it's very intriguing, and if I get a ticket, I will be going because I think it'd be really cool just to be there. I think that's what everybody else is thinking with this game is it's more of, hey, I was there to see something that's never been done before. So
you are the guy who bought a ticket to the Heritage right before the bottom fell out and it started pouring rain.
We're not talking about that. We're not going there. We're not going there. We're not going there.
Sucker for experience.
Hey man, I didn't pay a whole lot for the ticket. It was like a reused ticket, so I mean, I didn't spend that much money on it, but yeah, it wasn't worth it because seriously, 5 minutes into me getting into the freaking golf course, it just started pouring rain, and then it never stopped.
You're like, I'm in. Where are you? And I was like, I'm headed to the clubhouse.
I was drenched while you guys were sitting in the media room at the clubhouse, man. We are getting me a media.
I was very much drenched in that media room, I'll have you know, because I was out there in it. And it was frigid in that media room when I came back drenched.
I was sitting under the roof to the entrance, like the regular spectators' entrance. I sat there for a solid 25 minutes. Waiting to see if it would clear up, and then I went home, and then they decided to keep playing. I was like, well, that was a waste of like money. Jeez, seriously, why did I leave? Why couldn't I have just stayed? And I was so tired and so frustrated at that point. I just was like, yeah, no, I'm going home. Although I did get to see, I think it was I think it was either Justin Thomas or Xander Schauffele make a really good shot in the pouring rain. And it was kind of cool to watch. And then all of a sudden a big crack of thunder just came out of nowhere. And they were like, yeah, no, we're done. But anyway, we're not going there. I'm not going to go any further with that.
We won't let you buy any more tickets.
Yeah. Well, I will be. We will be getting me a media pass for next
We'll do our best.
Sheridan.
We'll do our best.
Yeah, we're gonna try. But anyway, again, that Braves Reds thing is a spectator event. Yeah, absolutely. Again, that Braves and Reds thing is really a spectator's event. One of a kind, may never ever happen again. So it could be just a one-time thing. So it's very special. Something's never been done before. So I'm intrigued to see how it goes for Major League Baseball.
Sorry, the Hawaiian team is playing. They're one of my favorite.
They're
one of my favorite little league teams. I can't take my eyes off of them. They're fun to watch. But yeah, I've enjoyed the Little League World Series as well as the Olympics, which will be winding down tomorrow. Sadly, it's almost over, right? So, yeah, I don't know I won't know what to do with my life when the Olympics are gone. Every 4 years, every 2 years, I guess this happens. I watch it nonstop for 2 weeks, and then I'm like, well, what now? But we are getting down to the dregs, though. We had the breakdancing today, and there was the one good breakdancer, although I can't remember what their silly name is. But then the other breakdancer was poor. I feel like I could have podiumed in the breakdancing.
I think we can all agree that breakdancing is not coming back for the 2028 Olympics because it was. I watched a bit of it and I was just like, why is this in the Olympics? For what purpose? What reason does this need to be in the Olympics? I'd rather watch skateboarding in the Olympics than breakdancing. Seriously, it's just I applaud the Olympics for trying breakdancing as an Olympic sport, but it's not a sport. It's not really a sport.
I just have to share this video.
Oh no.
This is what we're talking about.
I've seen this, yeah.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
Oh my God. I don't.
I also
dude.
I saw part of the kite race yesterday too, and I don't know what was going on, but it didn't need to be in the Olympics.
Wait. There's kite racing in the Olympics?
Yeah, it had to do with
what is this?
It was in Tahiti. They're standing on the kite, like it's in the ocean, but still it looked absolutely absurd.
Oh.
It looked like they were playing Super Monkey Ball. Super Monkey Target. Super Target. That's the one. That's the game.
Yeah, but, there's some. I mean, we said this the other night with Ned Bullis. Like, there are some sports in the Olympics that should not be in the Olympics.
Yeah.
I mean, they may be a sport, but they shouldn't be in the Olympics. And skateboarding is one of them. Like, I believe skateboarding, X Games can have skateboarding. Yeah. Like, I don't think it needs to be an Olympic sport. Yeah, I'm sure it's great for those skateboarders to have an Olympic gold medal, but they have plenty of gold medals in the X Games.
Yeah, I feel the same about the snowboarding, by the way. The snowboarding half pipe, like none of that needs to be in the Olympics.
Oh, I disagree with that.
Well, okay? Now I'm gonna have to call you out then, because if you allow snowboarding half pipe, then you got to allow skateboarding half pipe. It's the summer equivalent.
Yeah, but what are the Winter Olympics without Shaun White?
The same thing they were for a million years before they allowed snowboarding X Games stuff in the Olympics. Which side of this are you on?
I like the idea of having snowboarding in the Olympics, but yeah, I would agree with you. It's not something the Olympics need to have, but I think most of the people watch the snowboarding anyway in the Olympics. It's either that or they watch figure skating or the or speed skating. I love speed skating, by the way. I really like how speed skating.
Curling. Big fan of curling. Big fan of speed
Curling,
skating.
cool. I like speed skating.
I was obsessed with the speed skating when I was a kid, man.
Hey,
I wanted to be a speed skater.
Yeah. Hey, man, Salt Lake City's hosting the Olympics, I believe, in 2032?
No, because they're doing
What
the
is
winter,
it?
right? It's 30.
Yeah.
It's got to be either 30 or 34.
Hold on.
It'll be opposite.
I'm going to look it up.
But yeah, it's coming up. It's coming up soon-ish. In our lifetime. Hopefully.
2034.
Yeah.
2034. Yeah.
Hopefully in our lifetimes.
Yeah. Well, you never know. Yeah. They're like in both Olympics. I think there are sports that they don't need to be there, but they have it there anyway, and it just
I'm just saying, if you're gonna rail against skateboarding, then you gotta. If you get rid of skateboarding, you almost got to get rid of snowboarding. It's the same thing, but on snow.
Yeah. Agreed. I agree with you on that, but I think that's something a lot of people watch for the Olympics is snowboarding, unfortunately. Especially when Shaun White was doing it for the United States, especially when he, made his comeback after, what was a tough Winter Olympics at one point for him. And, he was going through a lot of things for him to come back through injuries and, mental issues to see him come back and, compete and win a gold medal in the Winter Olympics once again I think that was like one of the special moments in the Winter Olympics. And I think that's why everybody likes snowboarding is because there's some great stories. And also, Shaun White made snowboarding stay in the Winter Olympics. I think, I agree with you. I don't think they need to have snowboarding, but they have it anyway. And a lot of people watch it.
Yeah, I can go either way on snowboarding and skateboarding, honestly, but I don't
skateboarding. I think skateboarding I don't need to see in the Olympics. Snowboarding I feel like is so much part of the Olympics now that it's almost hard to take it away. Skateboarding I can take away from the Olympics.
That's funny to me. That's incongruous to me because to me they're the exact same thing on like one in the regular world and one in the upside down. Like growing from the same tree. So I don't see your rationale, but I appreciate it nonetheless and respect it. I think you're just a sucker for the snowboarding. The Lowco Booster Club, Court Lifestyle Pros, Daniel and Debbie Court are Lowco natives who want to bring you home to Hilton Head Island there with Charter One Realty. Eagle Creations has promotional items and custom apparel. We were just over there today. My friend Robbie B and I checking out some stuff and talking with them. They've got the Lowco Swag Shop. We're going to be adding some more friends to our Lowco Swag Shop and stylizing it a little more. So keep an eye out. And if you're a team needs a store, you need a solution for your spirit store, hit us up. We'll help you out and get you hooked up. But Jay's Barbershop is the place to be in Ridgeland, whether you need a haircut or not. If you're in downtown Ridgeland, wander into Jay's for the great conversation and come out looking stylish. Barefoot Floor Care, the Low Country. Chris Odom gave us his nightly thumbs up. He'll get your floors so clean, your feet will thank you. And Hudson Seafood House on the Docks is the presenting sponsor of Under the Bus and a great spot to go grab some seafood, maybe a cocktail. Always got a great brunch over at Hudson's. And also our newest Lowco Booster Club member, the Hurricane Sports Cafe out in Hampton County. Go see them when you're out that way. They got great food, great service, and it's a cool place to hang out. And we'll be spending some time there this football season. You can count on that. So that's the Lowco Booster Club. They support us, so please support them. Max, what you got for a parting thought tonight, buddy?
I'm sure everyone heard of the Noah Lyles situation. Unfortunately, his Olympics is over after testing positive for COVID-19, which is very unfortunate because I think he would have ended up running potentially in the 4x100 men's relay, and I think he would have been a very crucial part for the men's 4x100 meter relay. But the other thing I saw today, as I was watching, how they have the prime time, stuff tonight. One of the things I saw was Quincy Williams, I believe is his name, for the United States in the men's
Yeah.
4x400 meter relay. The kid's 16 years
Quincy
old,
Hall,
and he's
wasn't
running
it?
in his first Olympics. Quincy
Oh,
Hall,
wait.
thank you.
Yeah. No.
Is it Quincy Hall? I think he's
No.
16.
I think it's Quincy Wilson is who you're talking about, who's only 16.
Wilson, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's 16 years
Wow.
old. He just ran. I just saw him running heat, their first heat in the men's 4x400 meter relay. He didn't do his best work, but he's been like really, really strong throughout his season. He's been doing a lot of stuff this season, so I'm sure he's on his last leg as he's going into the Olympics. But the kid's only 16 and he's in his first Olympics in track and field. That's extremely impressive, and he won't be the last. This won't be the last we hear of this kid's name. He's going to be a star one day for the 400 meters and the 4x400 meter relays. This kid is really special, and I enjoyed watching him, make it through the Olympic trials as well as getting to perform at the Olympics. Kid is special for a 16-year-old to be running for the United States. It's very special, and this won't be the last Olympics for him.
Yeah, I missed out on his story somehow, so glad you brought it to our attention. He's from Maryland.
Yeah, 16 years old. That's just insane.
That, I mean, you see it in some sports, right? But not in track and field. Like that's a grown man sport. That is.
Yeah. Most of the guys are in their mid-20s, mid-20s, early 30s. So to see a 16-year-old running in the Olympics in track and field for men's track and field for Team USA, that's something extremely special, and it shows that this kid is going to be a future star for Team USA.
Well, here's some good news for you. All you people wanting to keep tabs on this BA versus Northwood game tomorrow night, it'll be live on Beaufort's own. They'll have the stream.
I was wondering why Justin put this up. That makes more sense now.
No, yeah. So Javon is watching us tonight. He always lets us know when he's tuning in, but I didn't notice that he had texted me a bit ago and said that they've got the game tomorrow night. So he and Tristan will be up there at CSU. Shout out to Beaufort's own, doing terrific work. Our partner in local sports and celebrating these kids for sure. So
me and him are going to be doing a lot of work for football this year.
And then he was asking me about our programming for this season as well. And I just shared with you and Wes earlier this week that we'll be going to a Monday through Friday, 9:30 is going to be the plan. We'll adjust if we need to from night to night, depending on what the schedule looks like. But we'll plan to convene at 9:30 Monday through Friday. It'll be the Lowdown Monday through Thursday. Second half of Thursday night show, we'll shift gears into the Lowco pigskin preview and preview all of Friday night's games. And then on Friday night, of course, we'll have Lowco pigskin live, set and sail at 9:30 from wherever I am, or wherever somebody will be holding it down in the studio, most likely me, but we'll see what evolves over time. And we're gonna do the red zone thing. We're gonna get everybody to log on at 9:30 live from their games, and we'll go live to the most compelling game and keep to the windows. Get all the boxes up there and see what's going on all over the place. And it'll be, chaos the first couple of times, but we'll get it down just like we did when we started doing this live show in the first place. And it'll be fun. It'll be chaotic. We'll have our friends come by and tell us what's going on. So if you want to get down with us on Friday nights, if you're going to be going out to games, especially some of the further flung places that we can't get to as easily or as often, let us know. Hit us up, and we'll make sure that you get the access you need to be able to maybe get on the sidelines and get us a live look at the games in crunch time. So can't wait to do that. That's going to be a lot of fun. So anyway, boys and girls, I guess that's going to do it for tonight. Thanks so much to Nic Shuford for jumping on with us on Football Eve. It's high school football eve in the Lowco. Only for him. There's only a few that even play next week, and then it's full bore on the 23rd. But Shuford he's always chomping at the bit. He can't help himself. He's got to get out there and play. So we'll see what they got. We'll see what they got tomorrow night. Should be fun. Looking forward to it. Thanks to all of our sponsors and everybody who shows up to listen or watch. We appreciate you. And we know that there are people out there who care what's going on in the sports world and around the Lowco, and we want to keep you in the know. So we'll be back Monday night, whole crew, hopefully. Actually, Wes is going to be out for a while, so it's going to be you, me, and our new friend Tim Alonzo going to ride shotgun with us on Monday night, actually.
All right.
So we'll see who we can round up and what we can tell you about on Monday night, Lowco Sports Lowdown. For Max Arraj, I'm Justin Jarrett. Till then, go Lowco.
The Lowco Sports Lowdown podcast is a production of Lowco Media LLC and LowcoSports.com, an independent media outlet providing grassroots local sports coverage in the South Carolina Lowcountry. We are sustained by community support from sponsors and patrons like you. Get in the game with a monthly pledge of $1 or more at patreon.com/LowcoSports to keep us going and growing. Go Lowco.